Hi guys, this is my country report presentation on Brazil. And if you look at this picture, this image is actually the statue of Christ the Redeemer. It is one of Brazil's most famous landmarks. It actually stands about 98 feet tall, and it is one of the seven wonders of the world, which I actually was not aware of. It is the largest Art Deco sculpture in the world, and it is a huge symbol of Christianity. So these are just a few pieces of background information on Brazil. The capital is Brasilia, and the population of the country is about 217 million. The currency that they use is called Brazilian real, and one Brazilian real equals about 19 cents in US dollars. And then lastly, the current president of Brazil is named Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Here's just a map of South America, and as you can see, Brazil does occupy about half of the continent's landmass. It is also the fifth largest country in the world, and Brazil does contain most of the Amazon River. It also continues into Colombia and Peru. Lastly, since it is such a large country, it does account for about 1/3 of the Latin America's population. So I went through Brazil's Constitution of 1988, and I chose a few of the amendments that stood out most to me. The first amendment that I chose was men and women have equal rights and duties under the terms of this Constitution, which is obviously very important. The next amendment was no one shall be submitted to torture or to inhuman or degrading treatment. Then no one shall be deprived of any rights because of religious beliefs or philosophical or political convictions, unless invoked in order to be exempt from a legal obligation imposed upon all by one refusing to perform an alternative service established by law. Then lastly, protection of the job market for women through specific incentives as provided by law. So I had found a few different articles on women's rights within Brazil, and this is one of the first ones that I found. It was published on January 17th, 2023, so it is very recent. Brazil's newest president has only been in office since January 1st of this year, so it's only been about 2 months. Just days after Lula stepped into office, many supporters of the previous president, which was Jair Bolsonaro, had stormed the capital of Brasilia. Many people had also attempted to set fire to the carpets and steal pieces within the building, and over 1,000 people had been arrested due to the riots. Although many people are not excited about President Lula's inauguration, he does claim that he will advocate for equal rights, equal pay, LGBTQ plus rights, and diversity as a whole for everyone. Lula's election has sparked optimism for women and their rights, and he has promised to strengthen the support for survivors of gender-based violence, which does lead to the next slide where I speak more about gender-based violence. So this was another article that I had found labeled "In Brazil, New Law on Femicide to Offer Greater Protection." It was published in 2015, so it was a few years ago, but the content is still relevant to now. The rates of femicide have not yet gone down within Brazil. It is President Lula's hope that the numbers will decrease, but only time will tell with that. In the article, the 36th president, which she was 4 back from now, Dilma Rousseff, has signed a new law which criminalized femicide and set tougher penalties for the crimes committed. She had noted that there is an average of 15 women murdered each day in Brazil simply just for being women. Rousseff has clarified that femicide is considered any crime that involves domestic violence, discrimination, which result in death just against women. And on the next slide, I've actually included a really short video on femicide as a whole and shows a few statistics within it. This slide is just a few more facts on femicide in Brazil that I had found. In 2019, Brazil had a record number of femicides and gender-based violence. Brazil is also considered one of the most dangerous countries in the world. More than 12 women are killed each day, which was a fact in 2016. And then Brazil ranks 5th highest in femicide rates worldwide. There are higher penalties for pregnant, disabled, and women under the age of 14 or over the age of 60. This is just my last slide with some resources and citations of my work. I hope you all enjoyed and learned something about Brazil.